Hi, my name is Jan Lansky. I'm here to introduce our new prototype 24-inch Dyan bike. And I'm going to go through some of the features, starting at the handlebars, going down, and then from front to back. Here we have bar ends, which are ideal for a folding bike, really for almost any bike that you're going to commute with, because it does give you the extra hand positions to orient your hands. Also, by pulling back on bar ends, you actually dig the rear wheel into the ground, and you actually go up hills faster, which is really nice. Ergonomic grips are awesome. So we have awesome Tektro brake levers with a little area here to make sure your hands don't slip. So these are really sweet. We have 9-speed trigger shifters. Trigger shifters are my favorite. Light action, so you can go for a long ride. The grip shifts are generally, they can irritate your wrist over time. Whereas trigger shifters are really light action and there's no force on anything that's dramatic, very light action. So I prefer trigger shifters, and I think they're actually ideal for a commuter bike. Okay, we have rise bars, which you can see right here, and a removable faceplate stem. The removable faceplate stem is something that's ideal really not to remove it, but by loosening these two bolts I can rotate this handlebar forward, back, depending on the rider and how far he wants his hands forward or her hands forward or back. So this is a really nice little setup with a rise bar. I think commuter bikes should always have a rise bar, because it gives you more options, more adjustability. It's a little bit heavier, but the weight is not as important as, the comfort, ability to adjust for more comfort. Here we have our stem, and this is a really nice little setup. This is why I really appreciate our 24-inch folding bike. Generally, 26-inch folding bikes are just ginormous even when they're folded. This one actually gets down to a very reasonable size, mainly because we're able to put on a stem that does fold. So this is really perfect. It's about 30% bigger on our 20-inch wheel folding bikes, which is very reasonable, and it gives people the comfort that they want in a bigger wheel bike. So it's a perfect alternative. 26-inch wheels, I don't think they work so good, but the stem folds down to the side just as our other folding bikes. Clearly it's not as much height because it's not as tall of a bicycle. Okay, let me work my way down. So as you see here, we have some Tektro V-brake calipers. So these are really nice machine sidewall rims, some basic Kenda tires, just nice aluminum fork in the front, lightweight, nice little fender. And we actually put a disc hub on this. If I rotate this, you'll see the 6-bolt interface, and so with the aluminum fork, we didn't put the disc tabs on this fork, but it will be on the final version. And the reason, as I mentioned in some other videos, I don't like to have disc brakes on folding bikes, because as you fold and unfold a bike, it's more likely you're going to bend the rotors, and then once the rotors are bent, it's just squeak, squeak, squeak all day, and it's just the most annoying noise. Unless you live in the mountains, disc brakes really are not essential. And when I mean the mountains, I mean extremely steep mountains, because if you live in the mountains, when you descend, these regular V-brakes will actually melt by the time you're at the bottom of a mountain. The brakes, either you use them and they'll melt, or you don't use them, so you'll have them when you need them, and your life's at risk. So disc brakes are essential in the mountains when you're descending, phenomenal mountains. For the majority of the population, that is not necessary, and the risk of bending the rotors outweighs the benefit for most of us. Hence, we don't like to put them stock, but we will actually have the tabs, so if anybody wants to, they're going to be able to. Okay, so if we look at so starting here with the frame, it's a beautiful frame, and it's actually a really nice low-profile design. This is essential because it's easy to stand over this bike, so it's great for people who are shorter, and taller people can also ride this bike without a problem by lifting the saddle higher. So it's a really nice little low-profile design. In addition, it folds much smaller because the frame is actually so small. And so that was part of the concept. Let me show you how to fold the frame. At the end, I'll fold the whole thing. And so I lift this up, and the frame just folds in half like so. Okay? At the very end of the video, I'll actually fold it completely so you'll get an idea of exactly how small it is. We have some awesome new Wellgo folding pedals. These are really nice, bigger bearings than our previous folding pedals, so they should last many years longer than their previous ones, which is great, just because the size of bearings correlates to the length of life of the bearings. and they're dramatically bigger. So we have awesome pro wheel cranks here, cold forged. Yeah, so 9-speed chain with a master link, which is nice, so you don't need a tool to take this chain apart if you want to clean it or anything. I'm not so sure I see where the master link is. There it is, I see the master link. Yeah, you can just pop this chain right off without tools or anything. It comes on and off, no problem. Okay, so a beautiful 9-speed cassette back here, 11 to 34, Sun Race, racing quality rear derailleur, 90 series. This is really nice stuff. It looks beautiful and it's lightweight and functional. It's awesome. Really appreciate this. The new generation of Sun Race derailleurs and their cassettes are beautiful. As you can tell, the cassette has a lot of holes drilled out of it for lightweight, a lot of ramps to make sure that the shifting is perfectly precise, exactly as it should be. Okay, so let me step around here. We have a heavy-duty rack, which I think you need on any commuter bike, and this is actually made out of aluminum, so it's really lightweight as well. But clearly this is not a minimalistic design. This is actually a solid rear rack. I've actually taken my kids on this rear rack from their bus stop. It's really kind of cool. It works excellent. Same brakes as we have in the front, we have in the back, which is nice. The Tektro V brakes, same machine sidewall rims, same tires, same hub. When I say same hub, it's actually a different hub, clearly, because it's a rear hub, so it has a free hub body on it, but it's a 6-bolt interface disc on the rear, just like we had on the front. So a disc hub, which is extremely high quality. And so let me actually try to fold this thing, show everybody how it folds. Also a very nice saddle, quick release. Quick releases throughout, obviously, but also on the stem. So let me fold this down. So I'm going to turn the stem dial, fold it down, just like on our other bikes. Loosen the quick release on the saddle, push it down a bit, and I'm going to lift this to loosen the frame quick release. I can fold the pedals if I wish. I'm not going to fold the other one. It does fold, just choosing not to. And this is roughly what we have right here. So this is the folded size. It is a little bit bigger than our 20-inch wheel models, but I think it's very reasonable. Thank you very, very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Oh, let me get this. A little clumsy on that, but I think that's okay. Close the stem dial and lift the saddle up. Perfect.